Hello and welcome to our Year 12 Parents Information Evening. I'm joined with Miss Hussain, Mr Boylan and Miss Wrighton. My name's Mr Turton and I am the Assistant Principal and Head of Sixth Form, and thank you all for joining today. This presentation is being recorded, so in the event of any technical difficulties, please do not worry. We'll ensure that this is sent out to all parents so that you've got access to this in case there's any problems here. So I just wanted to introduce the sixth form team first of all. We've got myself, Mr Turton, I'm the Assistant Principal and Head of Sixth Form, Mr Boylan, who is our Coordinator of Sixth Form, Miss Hussain, who's our Academic and Cultural Perspectives Coordinator, Miss Wrighton, who is our Oxbridge and University Coordinator, and then Miss Landreth, who's our Attendance and Welfare Officer, as well as our Designated Safeguarding Lead too. We can all be found in the sixth form area, and we'll do our best to assist all of our students and you with any questions that you may have about life in the sixth form at Harris Academy, Beckenham. So, our vision. Our collective vision is to ensure that all students within the sixth form feel welcomed and supported in a way that is going to help all of them to reach their maximum potential. We will strive to give students the best learning experience and opportunities, as well as aspirations possible, that will empower them to have the confidence and self-belief to make ambitious choices. By doing this, we'll be able to overcome any barriers that they may face, and that then through hard work and dedication, they'll be able to open any doors in the future that they wish. We hope that through their experiences at Harris Academy, Beckenham, everything that they want to achieve will actually be possible. So, I just wanted to draw your attention to the Academy Day. So students are in school all day. Lesson 1 commences at 8:55 and ends at 10:15. Lesson 2 from 10:15 to 11:35. Students then have a break time where they are allowed out of the academy and can go for a stroll down Manor Lane and also visit any of the shops that they need. Lesson 3, so students need to be back on site by 11:55 and then till 1:15 is lesson 3, and then they have lunchtime after that. Again, at lunch, students are allowed out of sight. Lesson 4 varies for each day. For our Year 12 students, we're really pleased to sort of give them the opportunity to have their assembly and lab sessions on a Monday, as well as their cultural perspective sessions. Now, Miss Hussain will explain more about these later, but it's a fantastic and really exciting opportunity that our Year 12s have this year that's really going to enrich their cultural perspectives, as well as give them an insight into lots of different specialisms that our staff have. Furthermore, on a Wednesday, our students have a timetabled enrichment session that ensures that they are given as maximum opportunities outside of the classroom and really give them that enjoyment of life within the sixth form. Every day, students have a tutor time as well, with our designated PSHE programme, targeted reading, and students, when they get to year 13, may be completing some UCAS applications here as well. I just wanted to then highlight the importance of attendance as well, and our sort of motto is don't really miss the opportunities that others are getting. So in the event of a lateness or absence, we will be contacting parents via text, email or phone calls, and if in the event where you know that there is an absence, please inform us and contact Miss Landreth on 0208 650 8694, and her extension is 7133. Alternatively, you could email her at p.landreth@harrisbeckenham.org.uk. Perfect. I just wanted to then draw your attention to some key dates that are happening throughout Year 12. So in the first week of term, we had our induction week, which was designed to give all of our students the skills and practice some of the things that they needed in order to be successful at sixth form. Last week, students were conducting their induction tests to give them a sense of what assessments within the course would be like and give us some up-to-date and real data on how your sons and daughters are progressing. We'll have our Oxbridge launch in December and sort of this designated pathway to support our students who have these extremely high aspirations. There'll be 2 series of mock exams as well, one in the end of January, beginning of February, and the second in June, right at the end of June. Our parents' consultation evening will be the week commencing the 28th of February, and there'll be an array of university trips with more details to follow. Sixth formers will also be completing work experience, and this will happen in summer too. And our UCAS launch and preparations for year 13 will happen here as well. So our real drive and focus this year is really to ensure that all sixth form students take part in at least one form of enrichment. And as I mentioned earlier, post-16 students are off timetable on a Wednesday afternoon to facilitate this. Our enrichments range from sports teams, Duke of Edinburgh, volunteering, young enterprise, to even chess, science and maths clubs. And I'll show you a small snippet of our enrichment timetable for clubs that are just happening on a Wednesday afternoon. And there are a lot more available for our students to take part in as well. We would also encourage them that if they wish to support with clubs lower down the school, then please get in contact with us, and it will really help sort of foster those connections between the sixth form and the younger students. It's important that we focus on our students' experience outside of the classroom as well as in it, because it's going to help to develop them as people. So, as you can see, these are some of our enrichment offers that are happening on a Wednesday afternoon with Philosophy Club, netball, football, and I know Mr. Boylan is very keen for this to keep happening, because I know he's part of a league and is very, very keen to ensure that he retains his trophy this year. We've got our games club, volunteering, young enterprise, book club, exam lab, science club, maths club, health and fitness, and then our HABE allotment too. And these are just some of the wider offer that we have. These are just the ones that are happening on a Wednesday afternoon as well. I'm now going to hand over to Mr. Boylan, who will be able to give you some more details on UCAS and apprenticeships.
Hello, good evening. This is Mr. Boylan here, and I'm in charge of the UCAS process here at Harris Beckenham, as well as the apprenticeship programme. So we get asked a lot of times by students, you know, why should I go to university? And the research suggests that students earn quite a bit more than their non-university counterparts over the lifetime of their careers. So, you know, we encourage all students to apply to university regardless, and I'll go into the reasons why in just a second. But just to give you an idea of where our students went last year, we had students successful in securing a place in medicine, law, criminology, aerospace engineering, motorsport engineering, physiotherapy, economics, and many, many more. So lots of our students go to lots of different universities on lots of different courses. So we do encourage all of our students to sign up for university. There's several reasons for this. First of all is we pay for their £28 fee, so it's all free to our students. And we also encourage them to do it because they get the expert help and guidance from ourselves. We've got a proven track record of getting students into university. And also, if students are unsure, it gives them an opportunity maybe for a year or so. If they want to defer their offers, it gives them another year to secure a job or an apprenticeship. Just gives them kind of a parachute. So what we do at the end of year 12 is we have a couple of weeks where we have work experience and the UCAS sign up, and we encourage all our year 12s to sign up, and that's when the process begins. So it's quite heavily UCAS focused in the last couple of days of year 12. And like I said earlier, we've got expert guidance here at Harris Beckenham, as well as the Harris Federation, who work with the Harris Experience Advanced students or the medical and veterinary students to really kind of get them into the niche kind of university places. We take the students through a step-by-step process. We show them what to do, and we also encourage them to go to university open days. Now, COVID's put a bit of a spanner in the works with that, but lots of the universities are doing the virtual open days. And what we encourage our students to do is to actually go on as many as they can, really, virtually in their own time, but we will sign them off for up to 3 during the school time. And there's also, for your information later on, there's a dedicated section on our UCAS section on our website where it's got all the sign-up process, model personal statements, and everything that students need, all the information for UCAS on there. Students will be showing this in the next few weeks. In terms of apprenticeships, now lots of our students who don't want to go to university say they want to get an apprenticeship. Now, it is really, really difficult to get an apprenticeship because the competition is so high. It's not to say that students won't be able to get an apprenticeship, it's just that the competition is really high. So what we do is we set up regular meetings with Mrs. Duffy, our careers advisor, with the idea of her allowing students to produce an outstanding CV. We run sessions and workshops by apprenticeship providers on site here at Harris Beckenham. We work on their interview skills and their interview techniques, as well as Harris Federation workshops and professional events such as we call it the WOW project, which is the World of Work project. All of these are geared towards getting students into the world of apprenticeships, if you like. And we do also use a platform called Unifrog, which is where all of the apprenticeship stuff is based, and we'll take all the students through that as well, should they wish to go through that. I just want to draw your attention to our rewards league. So this year we're trying to really promote successes that students are having within lessons and around the academy. So what we've introduced this year is a points-based league system. So students, if they're nominated for Student of the Week, get 5 points, and then the actual Student of the Week selected by the sixth form team will get 20 points. You also get points for service to the community by doing duties. For example, today we had some of our Year 13s drop off some food to a food bank in Penge. All these sorts of things we're trying to get our students to go out and help out in the community and just be a presence, all of which we're trying to kind of give them rewards. And like he says at the bottom there, points mean prizes. So the top 10 in each year, well, Year 12 and Year 13 at the moment, will be taken to Thorpe Park next Friday as a kind of a well done and thank you. So yeah, that should be exciting, and that's hopefully the first of many incentives over the next year or so. So I'll now pass you on to my colleague, Miss Hussain.
Good evening, my name is Miss Hussain. I am the Academic and Cultural Perspectives Advisor here at Harris Academy Beckenham. My role essentially includes all things trips, improving any academic perspectives for our students. So one of the things that I'm in charge of is our lab programme, which, for example, on a Monday afternoon, students have a range of talks that they're able to sign up to. These are aspirational talks where they're able to learn about the world of work and any sort of industries that they might be interested in. I also am responsible for enrichment and also any cultural perspectives elements, including our cultural perspectives courses, which I will run through in a second. So the next 2 years at Harris Academy Beckenham Sixth Form are going to be unlike any other that your child has ever experienced before. And we offer more than just preparation for exams and university at our school. We want to open a window for everything the world has to offer, and we want our students to feel that they belong to our community. Some of the ways that we do this are through a vast offerings of extracurricular activities aimed at strengthening our students' cultural capital. This includes our Harris Experience Awards Advanced Programme, which is a programme for Year 12 and Year 13 gifted and talented students, and a letter will be coming out to those selected for the HEA programme within the next week. It lasts for the duration of our students' time here at Hague and aims to give our most academically able students outstanding preparation for some of the country's top university destinations, including Oxford and Cambridge. We also have a heavy focus on STEM and medicine and veterinary sciences as well. Students have the opportunity to join DebateMate, which is an educational charity that uses the university students to teach our Year 12 students speech and debate etiquette. We expect all of our students to be enrolled into the Duke of Edinburgh programme and work together either for their bronze, silver or gold awards. This is going to be launching after October half term, and obviously it's something that's really beneficial for our students to enhance and grow their teamwork skills. We will be having an assembly about this in November, so hopefully we see as many students enrolled in that as possible. Our team of excellent subject specialists contribute to our Aim High lecture series, which is focused on broadening the scope of academic content that our students have access to through our lab programme. So, for example, we have many different teachers at our school who have niche specialisms that may not be something to do with the specification. And during these lectures, this is where we can really explore that and get that thirst for knowledge that our students require. These lectures are focused on niche elements of subjects that we offer at HABE and are proven as a wonderful way of engaging our students in academia beyond the remit of the exam specifications. An empowering enrichment programme is so vital and core, as Mr. Turton was saying, to the centre of our ethos at HABE. And each of our students is involved in at least one extracurricular activity. I thought it was amazing this year at our enrichment sign-up that we had some students doing 4 or 5 clubs. Clubs have tended to include things like Around the World in 80 Dishes, which is where I was this evening, cooking up a storm with my bolognese, and the Premier League debate show, and History Through the Lens of Contemporary Films, amongst many others, as you've seen already. We select our students to partake in the Brilliant Club Scholar programme, which is focused on nurturing our students into achieving academic greatness and aspiring to, for the top destinations after they leave our sixth form. We had a really successful run of this in the summer 2 last year, when we had 12 students participate in the Brilliant Club, where they had to write extended writing piece after they had bespoke lectures from an academic from King's College University. We're also part of the K+ programme, which is linked to King's College London again and provides mentoring within our STEM project subjects. So we have a lot on offer for all of our students. My main job is to try and make them a well-rounded student, and that's why cultural capital is at the heart of everything that we're doing here, and trying to improve that for our students' success and develop that cultural capital. We also work towards something called the HABE Diploma. Included within that, as we've already touched upon, we have enrichment and the AIM High Lecture Series. But in addition, we also have our Cultural Perspectives programme, which your child will be attending each Monday afternoon, and also the lab sessions, again, which are happening each Monday afternoon. What happens after lunch on a Monday afternoon is they will have a 40-minute session. Lab sessions, like I was saying earlier, are all based on students choosing something that seems appealing to them. So whether that be that they're using the 40 minutes for private study, or whether they're signing up to a lecture from our MP, which is taking place this week. It's up to them what they sign up to, but it's essentially meant to broaden their understanding of the world around them. The Cultural Perspectives programmes are run by our subject specialists, and they are focused on something that is niche and nerdy and nuanced, and something that they love. So, for example, we have a lot of students learning Icelandic at the moment, and all about Icelandic culture, because that is one of our teacher, Mr. Mann's specialisms. So they select again which one is that they think is interested in, and then they will study that until Christmas, and then they will change which cultural perspectives they would like to do. We also really want to drive leadership in the community. We want our sixth formers going out into the community, helping out, making sure that they are the face of our academy. Lastly, we have our charity programme. We have a Macmillan Coffee Morning next Friday, where our students are taking the lead with that and trying to raise money for charity in as many different ways as they can. I'm just going to pass you over to Ms. Wrighton, who is going to talk to you about Oxbridge and Russell Group universities.
Thank you so much. So my name is Miss Wrighton, and I'm supporting the sixth form team in everything to do with university application, but with a particular remit to look at students who want to get into the top universities in the UK. So let's look at a definition. The Russell Group is defined as 24 leading UK universities, with Oxford and Cambridge always at the very top, vying usually for #1 and #2 places, and then followed by a number of London universities, which many of our students are interested in because we're based in the South East. So King's College London, Queen Mary University of London, University College London, often called UCL, London School of Economics, usually called LSE, and Imperial College London, normally just called Imperial. And then you can see the list of all the other Russell Group universities around the UK, pretty much in major cities. Now, the Russell Group is defined by its teaching and learning, but mostly by its research. These universities produce world-class research. Universities like Oxford, of course, recently producing the vaccine for the COVID-19 in working with AstraZeneca, and we have had a little bit of an upset at the top of the table recently. You might have seen in the news that the University of St Andrews, well known for educating the royal family, has taken the top spot in the Times and the Sunday Times Good University Guide, beating Oxford and Cambridge for the first time in the guide's 30-year history. However, it's not a member of the Russell Group, which is influenced by that world-class research standing. But that doesn't mean that there aren't other good universities. This is just a way of choosing a top list, and employers are very used to looking at the Russell Group as a differentiating factor when they look for employees. So it's something that we still talk about today. So aiming for the very top, Oxford and Cambridge. This is something that I'd like to see our students thinking about as early as possible in their careers. I took the time to speak to both Oxford and Cambridge admissions teams over this summer holidays, and I was very encouraged with what I heard. They will consider our school very carefully, because although we've had a history of applying to Oxford and Cambridge from our sixth form, and we've even had an offer, at the moment we haven't had anyone go. So we are delighted to be supporting a number of people in applying this year, and we're looking for the year 12s to be our big, bright cohort that's coming through. So when I spoke over the summer to Dr. Chris Scott, admissions tutor for our Link College, which is called Gonville and Keys at Cambridge, he said to me, the biggest reason that people don't get into Cambridge is that they don't apply. So we're looking to change that and get many more applications going. And that's my role, to support those and to work with the Federation, the central team at the Fed, who support our students in getting their personal statements and their applications absolutely tip top. Now, Oxford and Cambridge regularly have open days for students who are seriously thinking about going there. But as the others have mentioned, these have been online recently, which is not quite the same. So we are ambitious about taking some of our year 12 students in 2022. We're looking into that. Obviously, it is dependent on COVID, but if we could have a physical trip to Cambridge for those students that are on track for the grades, who are our A and A star students, then we will definitely do that if we at all can. Now, moving on to the Russell Group more generally, the Russell Group have very usefully created an excellent resource that shows which A-level subjects are the best fit for various degree courses. So you can use this website before you choose your A-levels, but at this stage, if you're now in year 12, you have a student in year 12, then you can use this website to see how their A-level subjects are matching up with various degrees. So the website looks like this. You go to informedchoices.ac.uk, and then you can say, look for chemical engineering. I've got quite a few students who want to do this as a subject. They get this idea that they want to do it, and then here you can check whether they've got the A-levels that they need to do it. So you can go and select, I know what degree I want to study, chemical engineering. And then you'll see a short overview of the subject, gives you an idea about what it's all about. And on the same page, it will show you which subject is essential and then which other supporting subjects are usually essential. So in the case of chemical engineering, you'd need to be studying maths, and usually we'd have chemistry and physics as well as your A-level choices. So this is a good thing to be doing early on to get an idea of what degrees might be appropriate for the mix of subjects that your child is studying. So what can you do to help your student, your child, to get into a top university? Well, first and foremost, help them focus on getting the grades. You know, for those top universities, Oxford and Cambridge, we're looking at A's, A stars. For the Russell Group, it really depends on subject, but we're looking at A's and B's in most cases. If they don't get the grades, they can't apply. So the very first step is to get the grades. And that includes helping them to manage their workload, helping to manage their mental health and their stress levels. But if they do want to work with me on getting into a top university, they will need to be doing some kind of super curricular work, which means over and above the curriculum in their subject. So if they love maths, then they should be entering maths prizes. If they love English, then they want to be entering writing and essay prizes, demonstrating a real love for the subject that they might want to study is something that impresses those top universities, because at the stage where you're applying to the very top, really every child is head girl, every child has the Duke of Edinburgh, etc., all the wonderful things that we offer here. So they're looking for that individual student who have pursued their passion that little bit further. And finally, discuss their options with them even at this stage if you want to, using the informed choices and individual university websites. And if you'd like your child to attend a top university, please feel free to speak to me at any time, or the rest of the sixth form team, and my email's on the slide. So I'll just hand over again for some frequently asked questions that you've submitted. Here's Mr. Turton. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Wrighton. So I sent out a Microsoft form last week to a link where you could submit any questions. We just had a couple back from parents, and if there are any other questions that we haven't answered today, please do feel free to email the sixth form team and we will do our best to support you. So one of our questions that we had was, how can you support your child in getting strong marks at A level and getting into a good university? I know Ms. Wrighton's talked a lot about this in her presentation, but essentially the parental support discussions that you can have with your sons and daughters will really go a long way. I'd suggest as well sort of making a list now and start thinking about what is it that they want to do in the future too, as well. The idea of wider reading around their subjects as well, and sort of actively encouraging them to sort of go above and beyond their sort of core textbook, even if it's not particularly about the stuff that they're learning in class, around the subject in general is really going to help them and set them above and beyond what their peers will have done, as well as their competitors. They really need to immerse themselves in their subject and demonstrate their passion for learning. Why do we keep our students at the academy during our study periods? Well, we want to sort of maximise the time that our students have got to complete their studies. It's been a case of that over the last year or so with the disruption, we want to provide as much support for our students and give them a place to study, which is why we want them to be in the academy during their study period. So there has been this sort of misconception that these are free periods. They're in fact compulsory study periods that we are expecting our students to attend. And then finally, my son or daughter is struggling in a particular subject. Where can they get help? Well, obviously we've got our resources, our teachers as well. So if you do notice that your son and daughter is struggling, please do contact your class teacher. Please do let the sixth form team know, and we can do our best to direct them or you in particular area of support. We are being part of the federation. We do have contacts within the federation who do put on master classes, who do put on study sessions as well, so we can direct and sign up your staff, your students for those. If there are any other questions, please do let us know, but thank you very much for your time today, and I hope you all have a lovely evening. Bye bye.